Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students of grade 10th. It's my fourth lecture of unit number 7. In my previous lecture, we have completed the reading along with the translation. Now, in this lecture, we will do the book exercises. So, open your books at page number 67, page number 66, and then 67. On page number 66 and then on page number 67, there are some glossary words given. I think there is no need of explaining them again and again, as I have told their Urdu meanings to you while we were doing the translation. But let me tell you one thing, that in your board paper in section A, some MCQs are from these vocabulary, in which word will be given, and in front of the word 4 options will be given, in which one will be correct, and you will have to encircle the correct option. So keep in mind the meanings of the words so that you can attempt them. On page number 68, the other exercise is answer the comprehension, in which answer the following questions. Question number 1. Why did the farmer decide to take her mother on the summit? Question number 2. Why did the son hide her mother in the closet? Question number 3. What does the phrase "with the crown of snow there cometh wisdom" means? What is the theme of the aged mother? Question number 5. What is the climax of the story, The Aged Mother? Question number 6. Why did the farmer disclose his secret? Question number 7. What are the elements of the story, The Aged Mother? What is the setting of the story? Question number 9. Why did the leader issue the proclamation? Question number 10. How does the poor youth feel about the proclamation? Number 11. How did the youth carry out the orders? Dear students, you can get the answers of all these questions in hard copy from your school. Now, question number B is choose the correct options. These kinds of questions also comes in your paper in section A. Number 1. Shenano, the town where they lived, was governed by a despotic leader. In this sentence, the word despot means that option A, the governor was a kind person. Option B, the governor was an intelligent man. Option C, the governor was a cruel man. Option D, the governor was a wise fellow. So, option C, the governor was a cruel man, is the correct option. Number 2. He lifted his helpless old mother to his back and set out on his painful journey up the mountain. The journey was painful because option A, the farmer had the burden of his mother. Option B, the mountain was steep. Option C, the mountain was steep and he was to be abandon his mother. Option D, he could face the soldiers of the king on his way. After reading the unit, you will be able to answer that the correct option is the mountain was steep and he was to abandon his mother. Now turn the page. Number 3. The son decided to take her mother back to his hut because dash. Option A, the mountain was not a proper place for living. Option B, she did not want to stay there. Option C, the governor abolished the law. Option D, he was greatly moved by the pains she took to guide him back his home. So option D, he was greatly moved by the pains she took to guide him back his home is the correct option. Number 4. The sayings "with the crown of snow there cometh wisdom" means that Option A, whoever wears a silver crown is wise. Wisdom cometh with the passage of time. The snow always falls on the wise. The king is always wise. So, option B, wisdom comes with the passage of time is the correct one. Now, number 5. His demand was that his subjects should present him with a rope of ashes. Using the contextual clue, the word subjects in this sentence mean option A, men, option B, citizens, option C, they, option D, issues. So, option B, citizens is the correct one option. Now come to page number 70, in which there is an exercise of modal verbs. Choose the correct modal verb answers about the function of the modal verbs in the following sentences. Modal verbs are those in which some ability, possibility, permission, request, offer, suggestion, advice, strong obligation, necessity, absence of necessity, or prohibitions are discussed. Now the question number A is, choose the correct answer about the function of the modal verbs in the following sentences. May I use your mobile phone? Option A, to make a prediction. Option B, to express possibility. Option C, to make a semi-formal request. And option D, to express permission. So option C, to make a semi-formal request is correct one, because he is saying may I use your mobile phone. He is doing the request. Option statement number 2, you must not walk on grass. Option A, to make a command. Option B, for prohibition. Option C, to make a conjecture. Option C, for suggestion. So option B, for prohibition, is the correct one. He should come to the meeting on time. Option A, to convey the idea of an obligation. To make a suggestion or advice. For prohibition, to form polite question. Option B, to make a suggestion or advice, is the correct one option. Now turn the page. Number 4 is, can you help me with this exercise? Option A, to show inability or impossibility. Option B, to express or inquire about willingness. Option C, to show possibility. Option D, to express permission. So option B, to express or inquire about willingness, is the correct one. Number 5, you need not take your umbrella, it isn't raining. Option A, expressing prohibition. Option B, expressing obligation. Option C, expressing lack of necessity. Option D, expressing ability. So option C, expressing lack of necessity, is the correct one. Would you say it again more slowly? Option A, to make a request. Option B, to give a suggestion. Option C, to show ability in the past. Option D, to identify a possibility. So option A is correct, to make a request. Number 7, the weather will be hot enough to go to the beach this weekend. Option A, to express intention. Option B, to make a prediction. Option C, for habitual behavior. Option D, to show willingness or interest. So option B, to make a prediction, is the correct one. Number 8, the dog would bark every time the doorbell rang. Option A, to request permission. Option B, for preference. Option C, for requests. Option C, to show habitual activity. So to show habitual activity is the correct one option. Number 9. Shall I help you with your luggage? Option A. For suggestions, for offering someone help, for asking what to do, to indicate a promise. Option B. For offering someone help is the correct one. Number 10. Can you help me with this exercise? Option A. For asking what to do. Option B. Requesting someone for help. Option C. For suggestions. Option D. To indicate a promise in the future. Option B. Requesting someone for help is the correct one option. Now come to page number 72. There is an exercise. Choose the most appropriate answers to express the idea specified in parentheses. Option is statement number 1. You don't look well. You dash see a doctor. You, option A, are to, would, need to and should. You need to see a doctor. Number 2. Dash take a message please. May you, would you, shall you or need to. So option B, could you take a message please is the correct one. Number 3. Whose book is this? I am not sure. It dash be Anam's. Option A, might. Option B, must. Option C, should. Option D, would. So option A, might is the correct one. Number 4. She dash have stayed home yesterday because the little son was sick. Option A, could, would, must and should. Option C, must is the correct one. You dash leave work at 3:30 today. Option A, can. Option B, could. Option C, might. Option D, will. So option A, can is the correct one option. Now on page number 73, there is an exercise of regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are those verbs when we are making its past and past participle, we used ed with it, like walk, walked, walked. And irregular verbs are those verbs which do not follow the rule. The rule is that we add ed with them. Like for example, if we are saying go, went, gone, or see, saw, seen. So those are irregular verbs. Now the question is, put the verb in brackets in the correct simple past form. Note that some of these verbs are regular and some are irregular. Yesterday Tahir got up at 7 o'clock. He had a shower. He put on some clean clothes. Then he had breakfast. At 7:30, he went into the bathroom, brushed his teeth and combed his hair. After that, he put on his shoes and left his home to go to school. He took the bus which had a stop in front of his home. He got on his bus at 7:15. He got off the bus in front of the school and entered his classroom just in time. He listened to various teachers from 8 a.m. to 1:35 p.m. Then he hurried home because he was very hungry. He ate lunch and did his homework. Later on, he watched TV. In the evening, he had dinner with his parents. After that, he met some friends in the city. When he came home, he washed his face and brushed his teeth before he put on his pajamas. Finally, he recited a few ayah of the Holy Quran in bed late at night until he fall asleep. Dear students, we have completed our unit number 7. Now you do the practice of all the book exercises along with the translation. In my next lecture, inshallah, we will start unit number 8. Thank you, dear students.